sacred man must intervene. I have to wonder, is this a nightmare or is it a dream? Oh my king, for a man like me, there ain't no other than New Orleans. 3 years counting, expect to shine. There's gonna be trouble, just my kind. I'll take this gun to New Orleans. They say there's work for a man like me. 3 days counting, 2 hands more. Hands will be steady. One's first was upon the floor. 2 above, 3 below. I'm counting graves that I will fill. 2 above, 3 below. We're counting graves that we have filled. We're counting graves that we will fill. That we will fill with men like me. With men
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to USFC number 181. We will get started right away. Music courtesy of Hunt Showdown, by the way. I love that sort of gothic western combination. Really works really well, especially with the setting. It's basically zombies in 1800s Louisiana, so. We have Togoshi against Sir Radzig, who has to go right away, so please show up to your fight if you can, Togoshi. As we gotta get Radzig a fight ASAP, regardless of what we do. I will only give Togoshi like a minute or 2 to join. As usual, especially with a time constraint, I will ping the guys as well. And as usual, I'll be in commentators really shortly. And Bulbo, if you want to commentate, you're always free to join up. If not, other people are also free to do so. And I am being pinged a bunch, so I'll check that on my phone while we wait for the combatants. Sir Radzig's here already, as expected. We are waiting for Togoshi now. And I know I moved Togoshi as well. Togoshi was like further up on the fight card, but that's just what happens. People left and people asked to be moved, and so these things are expected. Yeah, so you're a bit later, Levinas, if you look at the fight card, as you saw in the fight card that I posted. So Need keyboard, yeah. Copy that. I'm still waiting for Togoshi. If Togoshi does not join, we'll have to get Grid Square or Bobo to fight, probably. Actually, no, Levinas doesn't have a fight. We could get Levinas to fight right away if he is available right now. That's probably better, because he actually doesn't have anybody to fight right now. So I will ask him if he's actually good to go. He is, actually. He just messaged me, which is good. He's listening. Alright, we're gonna do that at this point, as Togoshi has said nothing, and Radzik needs to go very soon. So just join that link that I provided. I'll post another one. Yeah, so as often happens in USFC, schedules change. Levinas is missing a fight, so the best way to solve this predicament might be just to get him to fight Sir Radzik. Meanwhile, I'll boot up the game so we don't waste any time. And the game capture should also be working. Nice, yeah. The game capture is up. I did check my connection recently, by the way. It is better than normal, which is a good sign. We're still waiting for Levinas, who said he can fight right now. Yeah, some of these guys are newer players, so obviously we have to be a bit patient as they work stuff out. That's normal. I haven't seen him fight before, so I'm actually curious who he will bring to fight Sir Radzik. Or Lady Carrara of Slot Machine on Discord, but his original name is Sir Radzik. So that's how I know him, so. I'll switch the name as well. It looks like Levinas is interested in fighting, so. Levinas is joining. Okay, Levinas, you will be on the left. Sir Radzik on the right. Oh, hang on. One thing I need to change. Searching sides is sometimes useful, but most of the time it's not. So I'll just switch it off until we need it. Is Bobo around, by the way? You are absolutely free to request to join the commentator cabin. Just give me a ping, because I don't think I can see you trying to join so easily. Need joystick. You have controller, yeah. Just click the screen if you can't pick. Yeah. Sometimes that's all you gotta do, and that makes your parsec window the active window. Instead of, whatever else you have open. Jakob, by the way, is not available. And for English speakers, yes, it is Jacob, that is the name, but in a lot of Slavic or sort of Eastern European / Germanic languages, the J is pronounced as a Y. What's going on? Somebody paused, but they continue fighting. Maybe there was a mistake. That's a stab to the face and then a cut to the arm, resulting in a double. So Marta by Levinas, which is cool. Levinas might be Spanish, but I'm not sure, judging by the name. I'm just guessing that based on vibes. It's not any educated guess. I don't know. And plus the character that he's playing. Unfortunately, kind of fumbled that there with Marta. Very important with Marta to know the follow-ups so that you can translate those opportunities into actual kill shots. But Levinas is newer, so he's obviously still learning a lot of that stuff. Radzler did great though, and it is 1-1 as Levinas does still secure a kill of his own. Sidesteps there, nicely done by Levinas, interrupting that chain. Marto's pretty good at that type of thing. And Levinas trying to keep distance now, not wanting to get close to that saber, which is smart. Nice push, actually. Even up close, that does work. And he secures a clear kill shot with that stab. No game sound. I don't know why. I'll sort that out after this round. Yeah, Radison's really trying to close the distance, but is not able to get close enough. The cuts are not bypassing the hand protection, and they are also too far to land in the first place. So these out of measure attacks are not working. Lavinas is Argentinian. Okay, so I was kind of close when I said Spanish, but I was in the wrong part of the world. Language-wise, it's a version of Spanish, so I'll take the victory there, even though Argentinian Spanish is not at all the same as Castilian Spanish, I guess it's called, or like Spain Spanish. Very different, but nevertheless, it is Spanish. I'll take it. But yes, I recognize these are not the same at all. Kind of like saying Quebecois French is the same as Parisian French. Perhaps even more of a divide, though, between the dialects of Spanish, I'm told. So, nice hit, and then follows it up. Yeah, Radzik is starting to take control despite not being super familiar with Yazuk. I think the experience is prevailing now that he's figured out the matchup. Who is pinging me? Okay, it's actually become a little bit closer. What? Somebody went back. Okay, the score was 4-5 for Radzik. You have to pick the same characters again, and we will resume from right where we left off. How did that happen, though? Okay, pick the characters. Yeah, you can't switch. There you go. Okay, another pause. Radzik, is it fine for you, or is it just that Levinas is from Argentina? No? Why would you let him kill you? We just resume. No, we don't need to. No, we don't need to replay all those flags. You can just fight. I know what the flags are. It's okay. Okay, Lavina has 4 at this point, and Radzik has 5. We are playing the 7. I'll keep track of it. All you guys can just fight, and then I'll end it when somebody has won. Bulbo's here, so we'll let him in after this round. I don't want to interrupt their rhythm. And I'll fix whatever audio bugs we're having. Marta's defense is actually really solid, but eventually Radzig is able to force an attack in, having closed the distance. Very good try by Levinas, but his opponent simply got too close. That is a double. Radzig needs one more, by the way. Levinas has 4, so he needs 2 more. Or 3 more, I should say. I cannot count. There we go. Now he needs 2 more. I saw into the future. That's why I mistook the amount of flags that were needed. And now, actually, it is even. Believe it or not, we're on that last flag. Whoever wins this wins it, and Sir Radzig wins it. Nicely done. And a close fight, actually, which I didn't... To be honest, I thought Radzig would have a clearer advantage. But unfortunately, sometimes you do have to mismatch the matchups a little bit. Just based on availability of combatants. Alright, let's figure out what's up with the audio. This should fix it. Bobo, just request to join and I'll let you in the commentator cabin. We are not done yet, of course. That is only the first round. It is best of 5. Actually, I'll just invite you.
There we are. I have no idea how to request to join. Very well played to Levinas and Lady Chiara there. I played Levinas just the other day, yesterday, and I must say, of all the Marta players I've ever seen, he's by far the best.
Nice, okay.
The only one to ever take a round off me. So he shouldn't feel bad. If I suspect he did lose that match against Chiara, but regardless, I think as a new prospect, he's quite promising. Yes.
Yeah, so you can join, by the way, the Parsec if you want to see it live.
Yeah, I'm joining in now, good sir.
Cool.
Full soprano. Is he going to go full sopranos?
Well, something I could do is, you know, I could lean forward in my chair, and all of a sudden, it's a mobster bubble we're talking to. Yeah. I'm gonna twist it. Forget about it. Right, what's this next match?
Same combatants.
Right.
Yeah, so it's funny, I guess Levinas was Spanish. I'm get told that he's Argentinian. So
Yes.
I was sort of
I made
correct, but also very incorrect, because they do speak
Yes.
Spanish there.
They do. The only Portuguese-speaking nation in South America is Brazil, and that is due to the line they set up. It had a name, I forget the exact name. In the colonial age, Spain and Portugal divided up the world into 2 halves. One half that Portugal could have and one half that Spain could have. And the coast of Brazil was the only part of South America on the Portuguese bit, so they were quite upset about that, I imagine.
Yeah. It was the Treaty
They
of
had a name.
Tordesillas.
Yes,
They signed,
that's
yeah.
the one. I forgot what it was called, but I was aware of what it was. And,
Yeah.
It caused great conflict because Portugal laid claim to much of Africa and even Sri Lanka at some point. They were the first people to invent triangular sails and make the trip around the southern tip of Africa. My
A
word.
lot of cuts. That's it.
Indeed, that was a flowing combo. That was a liquid sword fighting.
Yeah.
He moved like water. Anyway, focusing on the battle here, historical tangents aside.
Yeah, as we could talk about that for hours. Nice dash attempt there, but gets beat down.
Yeah. Making much use of the sidesteps here, both combatants approaching each other head on. Not quite what you want to be doing as Marta, but he manages to pull it out the bag. Very well done.
Yeah.
I didn't think he had that in him, but he certainly did, with a nice retreating stab.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, play Marta like Marie, and as a result, they think she's weak. You just have to play her totally differently. She's all about looping around the opponent and sidestepping to counter their attacks. She does have some
Yes.
good retreats, but you don't want to play linearly the whole time.
Indeed.
Nice push.
And right in the
Good
chops.
rush. Yeah.
And just like that, miraculously, a comeback has occurred.
That's the cool thing about Marta's push, is that it's an attack in and of itself. It's not just a push, so you can just launch it as an attack as well, out of measure.
Very
So
dramatic.
that's
Everyone. Oh dear.
carved up.
Yeah. Like a mucky pop. Here we are once again.
Ash.
Both players quite aggressive so far, neither one backing off, but it appears... Is Kiara playing Laszlo?
Yes.
Indeed. I suspected as such.
Yeah.
I'm uncertain of the matchup. I suppose Laszlo has something of a disadvantage, because I don't imagine his long guard, being a Hungarian saberist, is too good.
Yeah, and he holds his guard up high. Marta needs to avoid playing linearly though, because Laszlo's linear movement is some of the best in the game. Say what you want about him, but he
Yes.
is really fast. So if he can
He's
close
red,
the
which is
distance,
the colour of fastness.
yeah, and if he closes that distance, he can be a big problem for Marta.
Indeed. Not so as we see there. He's truly a glass cannon, or perhaps a glass pea shooter is a good way to describe him, because he doesn't quite have the damage, does he?
Yeah, he used to, but not anymore since a recent nerf.
Yeah.
Well, I say recent in the grand scheme of things. It's been a while now.
In the cosmic sense, everything's recent with human history.
Oh my!
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
He's not dead! You could. It looks like he's been cut in half.
He's still
and
not
he's still
dead.
not
He's
dead.
tired, but
He's
Oh.
exhausted. I think he'd rather be in the hospital than on the battlefield, but he's still hanging in there.
oh, he's baiting
And
his
that's another
opponent
thing I
in.
want to say.
Mhm.
He has an exceptional health pool, this man. His lungs currently look like Swiss cheese, but he doesn't mind.
Yeah, that's a pretty horrific wound that he's got there. And he still got
But he
it.
gets through.
Wow.
My word. Look at that. Lower stomach, wrist, shoulder. I mean, he almost has enough to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes with places
Yeah.
he's been stabbed. Unthinkable.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think some of those hits were considered grazes, so they didn't quite hit for full damage. But Laszlo's wound decals look very dramatic, so even a graze can
Indeed.
result in a wound all the way across his body.
The same thing happens with Kalkstein, but he has the low health to back it up, where because he wears white, the red cuts across his garb look dramatic indeed from even the slightest of blows.
Alright, pick your characters, guys. Okay, Connor. By Radzig. Lavinas has switched
Touch of
as
lag
well.
here.
Well, they don't seem
Here's
to care.
both players are powering through. No,
Yeah.
no. They're eager for the battle.
I hope it does look
Connor, of
smoother on
course,
your end,
is-
though. Because the internet, for me anyway, is better this time.
I see. Well, it seems every tournament you do something to improve the internet, but it seems each time your efforts are rewarded. Lovely low stab there. Of course, Sava not really being good at anything as a character and struggling as a result, especially against Connor.
Yeah, he's supposed to be quick on his feet as for Google and a good brawler, but he is not that. He's more of a zoner, but I'd say there's characters that do the zoning better.
He's more of a bomb that doesn't know what he's doing, is the character archetype he falls into. He's a Dan Hibiki.
Yeah, he's trying to be a jack of all trades, but he's failing at everything.
He's not even a master of none, he's good at none.
Yeah.
He needs some training, he needs to hit the damn training dog.
Yeah,
I will
'cause a lot
say
of-
though, his go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, a lot of the jack of all trades characters that are successful are characters that are masters at multiple things and are like S tier. So, like a
Yes,
Denise
of
or
course.
Jan or Isabella, these sorts of
The
characters.
truly balanced master of all things would be Yasek, I think.
Yeah,
He's deliberately balanced so that his stats are low because his attack animations would be carry him to S tier because he was done by the world's greatest fencer.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. The chicken dance, and he still blocked it with the shield.
Indeed. A linear strike, the thing is, he struggles to weave around that shield with anything but his knife, because that's the only part of his moveset that does weave around that guard. And he does score a mark there upon an exhausted opponent. But yeah, it's definitely a poor matchup in favour of Connor here. For Sava, it's a poor matchup, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, Connor's a tough nut to crack, and Sava's not great at tearing open an opponent's defense, so we'll see what he can do, but he's not a terribly responsive character.
No. Well, the Nutcracker was Russian and Sava's Ukrainian, so he's going to have quite a struggle. Perhaps some leg sweeps or side steps are what is required, but he's got a mountain to climb. All Connor needs to do is wait for an opening and strike.
Yeah.
And not exhaust himself too, but he does find his mark there.
Oh,
He's
he's
exhausted
tired,
himself again.
but he's still blocked.
I don't see what he's doing. He's not wounded, so if he just backs off here and stops being so aggressive, he could win the bout. He's insistent on going in.
There's another one.
Regardless, it is a victory for Connor. I do like the audio design of Sava as a character, though, because his saber makes very satisfying noises.
Yeah. He often hits the ground with that saber too, which makes me cringe in some of the maps because sometimes he hits like a stone road or something. That would mess up your edge so badly. Not even funny.
He doesn't seem to know what he's doing particularly much. They used to do that in medieval history, wasn't there? There's records of it being illegal to strike your neighbour's door. Very good headshot there. To strike your neighbour's door with a sword, which is what people used to do to announce they were going to try and duel and kill someone, to threaten them. They'd go up to their house and, mark their door with an...
I mean, that sounds about right. Plus, you could argue it's destruction of property, so, you know.
Indeed.
Even
And
just
there
on
was
those
another
grounds,
thing
yeah.
that was made illegal, where striking your sword against the stone so sparks would fly out. That was another intimidation method. Historians, some people have said they wouldn't do that, that'd ruin the sword, but people are stupid, so, I wouldn't put it past them.
Swords are also consumable objects back then. Today, we're like, oh, I don't want my thousands of dollars worth of sword to get broken. But back then, you would expect your swords to break, and you'd just buy a new one or get it repaired, if you could.
Well, lots more people needed them, so there was more demand, which made sure there were more supply, which made it cheaper.
Yeah, if you're wealthy enough to have a sword, odds are you're wealthy enough to get a replacement, so...
Now, if a Focos broke, could a peasant afford to get it repaired? I wonder. Because that is a cheaper weapon, it's mostly wood.
I think you'd just make another haft and slap that on. Like, I imagine a lot of times the shepherds were just making their own Focoses. Because it's not that difficult. You just get the axe head procured by some blacksmith, and then the haft can be made yourself, really, yeah.
Although, as we've been talking, Sava here has made a wonderful comeback, surprisingly, utilising his high strikes and some of his stabs to weave around the guard of his opponent. It might not all be out for him yet.
Ooh, blade away.
He does have very peculiar footwork, though. It's like he's moving through water, Sava. It's difficult to describe him. He's wading rather than walking.
Yeah.
Ooh, an attempt at a leg sweep there, being punished.
Oh, just out of measure. What? He missed.
Oh, and another one out of measure. Exhausting him.
Yeah.
And punished. It couldn't be any closer.
Yeah, this is actually really exciting. Red is a bit familiar with Connor, so it's a much more even contest. Nice stab. No kill.
Interesting, that's dash in there. And despite seeming the stereotype of a tough Scottish fellow, Connor has remarkably low health. I'm uncertain of what Sava's stats are. I don't think they're too good, if the rest of his characters are anything to go off of, but they're likely higher than Connor's.
Yeah. If he makes it messy, he has a much better chance, but that's a big if. He did not manage that here, and Radler got it in the end.
Well played. The next duel, I believe, is mine.
Yes, against Grid Square, who I think got the Wi-Fi sorted out, so that's good.
Well, I've not had any practice because I was celebrating my uncle's birthday. Excuses, I know. But wish me luck, people. I'm hoping for a victory here, but I'm fairly rusty, so I couldn't put it past him.
Oh, nice. Grid Square is already joining before I even pinged him, so that's nice.
You like some punctuality, don't you? You love
Yeah.
to see it.
Yeah, it helps the event run more smoothly, and it's just nice to see eagerness on the part of the fighters.
Indeed. Nobody wants to march towards a funeral procession now, do they?
Indeed. Castar versus Info after this. I'm actually hoping for a Marta mirror with that one, but we'll see.
On the left or the right?
You are on the right.
I see. Typically where I am. See, keyboard or controller, this chap. I think I'll be leaving the booth. You'll have to kick me out. I don't know if I can.
You should be able to leave, but I can do it. Oh, there you go. Nice. Grid Square, you need keyboard, right? Do you fight Togoshi later? Probably not because you won, but I'll get somebody for Togoshi. I prefer to give people who have lost a fight a second fight if possible, or newcomers, so we're gonna wait on that. Oh yeah, Bobo, you need keyboard as well, right? Yes. There you are. Should be able to click the screen and select now. Nice, nice. Zera by Bobo, I assume. Grid Square, I assume, will go with Calc. Obviously, no pressure to use your mains, but that's just what I expect. Grid Square, I believe, is from Asia somewhere. That's why he wanted an early fight, which is understandable. It also means the ping might be a little bit questionable, but I can say that as per my internet speed test, it is faster, my connection, than it usually is, so. I honestly didn't do anything special, I just sort of reset my router preemptively. Maybe I need to do that every event and somehow that fixes it for the most part, but... There haven't been any major complaints so far about lag. Obviously it's not perfect for those who are further away, but... The main thing is the connection stable or not? If it is stable, then it's perfectly doable for everybody else. Because I think the stutters was the big thing. If it's one thing to fight through a little bit of delay, it's another thing to fight through a bunch of stuttering. And he can fight some of these other characters as well, surprisingly well. Levinas, you're probably not going to fight again, but it's not completely impossible. Depends on who's available to fight Togoshi. But for most people, it's just one fight, and that's it. Which is the nice thing about the event, it's a lot more flexible that way. Thrust attempt there, then the back X is actually nasty here. Allows Grid Square to follow up those attacks as Bobo, wisely I thought, tried to punish that. Upcut there interrupts Bobo's attack. Into the hand. That upcut is really good for single tempoing, it turns out. It interrupts those cuts really nicely. Hit Zera's hand. And that's the key to interrupt Zera's attacks, is if you can find a way to just strike his hand in the middle of his attacks, then Zera will be stun locked out of his move. Especially if your blade is intercepting his blade such that it can't hit you. But Bobo shows us a great example of a single tempo action of his own. That upcut, defending and killing the opponent in one stroke. Something that Zera is actually good at if you master it, but his high recoveries can make it hard to set that up. Bobo trying to play tight here, but those hands are still a target, especially without long guard, and that stab is able to land. Grid Square needs one more. It is a double. Grid Square just going straight for the kill, but Bobo is still in it. But the pressure's definitely on, and the A cut was beautiful as Grid Square sidestepped and hit the hand in one motion. Gotta tell you, Grid Square is a rising prospect of this Kalkstein. That was beautiful, especially if the ping that he must have, like, to pull stuff like that off is impressive. People in the audience rooting for Bobo at the moment. As we go into the second round. That stab to the head and a cut to the head resulting in a double. I have to say, that would be one of the most stupid ways to die. Oh, somebody is alt tabbing. Try not to do that. Or pressing the Windows key, one of the two. You guys probably can't see it, but because of the game capture, but yeah. That's why they had a quick pause there, to get controls back. Stab to the body by Bobo, but no kill. As I was saying though, like it has to be one of the most stupid ways to die, to just mutual kill your opponent like that. You would certainly feel really stupid if somehow there was some afterlife or something and you were looking back on how you died. And Bobo actually dominating this fight. He's fighting for the center a little bit more instead of swinging wildly and playing a much tighter game. And I think that's proving much more difficult for Grid Square to combat. A good bait with the whiff as well. Another stab, just going straight for the center, and Grid Square is having trouble dealing with that. As Grid Square has been throwing these wide swings, so it's actually a really good spot on Bobo's part, realizing that these stabs can immediately counter a lot of what Grid Square is doing. And it prevents Grid Square from landing stabs of his own if you're fighting for the center like that. But this upcut does connect for Grid Square, as Grid Square is looking to make a comeback. Grid Square now keeping some distance. He knows those stabs are threatening. Now he's looking to punish them. Nice cut attempt there, but a little bit too far. Wild swinging there, then a cut, or stab I should say. Good sword play by both of them. The thrust, a bit of an overextension, but he recovers nicely, so it's good that actually that Grid Square didn't pursue that. A cut and the thrust. The sidestep actually pays dividends there for Bobo as he lands a slight hit, and then a stab right through the arm finishes the job. 1-1. Grid Square will take the left now as we are at 1-1. Really intelligent adjustment on Bobo's part. We'll see if that continues to help in this fight. Nice hit by Bobo. Thrust attempt there by Bobo. And it does land. Grid Square has switched to Isabella. And now he's really wary of these stabs. He knows they get right past the auto guard a lot of times and hit the head. I don't know what's going on. Big swing there. And backs off. Nicely done by Bobo. Exploiting the block stun there. Okay, there's a pause. Let's back off a bit. Wait until the opponent's ready. Okay, another pause. I don't know, guys. My connection is even better this time, so I don't even know what I can do. Just wait it out. Okay, let's see. Looks like Grid Square is making a comeback. Isabella is actually a nice pick against Zera, but Zera does have some weapons, it has to be said, that can mess up Isabella if she's not careful. Overall, though, Isabella is a lot more straightforward to play, and straightforward to counter with, so I would tend to favor Isabella here. Unless the Zera main is really good with Zera. Ooh, nice follow-up there. That cut's actually really threatening, albeit telegraphed, so Bobo had to counter that right away, I think. And the wind-up there is immediately punished by Grid Square. Grid Square doing a good job now of playing tighter, which helps that he switched to Isabella, because Hal kind of struggles with that sometimes. And now Grid Square is in the lead. Bobo behind by 1. The lag is awful. Well, Grid Square seems to be okay, so I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but it could be your connection to me, Bobo, that's somehow causing a problem. Because everybody else seems to have been fine so far. At least in this case. Before there was some kind of problem, but now I'm not so sure that's what's happening. Regardless, they're fighting it out now. Bobo lands a stab. Really nicely done. Nice upcut. A cut there, single tempo. Nice by Grid Square. Very good choice to move here. Now they're both looking for a kill shot. Grid Square a little bit cautious, but not afraid to move in when an opportunity presents itself. But I've noticed he backs away when he doesn't like what's happening, which is smart against the Zera player. Block stun there, so Grid Square could not capitalize on that. Blade beat. Thrust, they both hit each other. Nice hit by Bobo. Bobo with the high recovery Zorkow. Which, if his opponent was closer, might have worked, but unfortunately he was too far. Nice side. Doesn't land that. I'm actually very surprised because usually Zera blade beats through when he throws that combo. Upcut to thrust. Good exchange. And a thrust to the face. Bobo is still in it. But he must win this round. He cannot afford to give up even a single flag. Perfect counter with the thrust. As the high guard cut crashes into his blade, but he flips his point forward and stabs the head after blocking. Thrust attempt again. Bobo doing great with these stabs. It's actually making it very hard for Grid Square to finish it. Thrust again. Bobo definitely doing some strategies that Plebeian taught him. Very Plebeian-esque there. Nice blade beat by Grid Square, able to beat down the stab this time and get a hit to the arm, but not quite able to kill. There was a ghost blade beat just now. That was a little weird. But the stab to the face, Bobo is still in it. It is 2-2. I guess the lag is cleared up, which is good. Or at least it's become playable. This is for all the marbles. Nice back wide to the head. Bobo still has quite the winning chances here after winning that round. Now he's slightly ahead. Thrust attempt up cut there by Grid Square. And there's a hit to the head by Grid Square. That stab, probably not the one Bobo wanted. I assume he wanted the right foot forward stab. There you go. Flips the sword over and hits the head. Bobo looking for that counter and immediately seizes the opportunity. That was well done. Stab straight to the face before his opponent could respond. Bit of a thrusty Zera style here that works really well. And that's a double, as his opponent was cutting into that attack as well. But Bobo's doing a great job of pursuing that deep target that is the head. This time his attack is blade beat. Grid Square, of course, could also try long guarding it, but blade beating it's a nice way to instantly get a hit. Ooh, this time Grid Square was the one blade beat. He gets out of the way of that cut. He's just out of measure, but he keeps going as he should. I'm glad he was able to secure that opportunity because that would have been wasted if not. Rush to the hand and follows it up, hit to the arm. And there's a hit. To the face and it's a double. Thrust there to the body, upper chest. Not quite a kill, but it did take a lot out of grid square. Another hit will decide it most likely, especially a hit like that. Back wide, countering the high guard cut. As grid square is trying to get that hit, and Bobo just goes, but somebody closed me out of the game. Okay. What the hell? Why did somebody alt tab? Okay, we're back. There and then back X, I believe, by Bobo, and Bobo does take it. Nicely played by both. Bobo still able to win it in the end with some great adjustments on his part. Okay, let's get our next combatants in here. It's Info against Castar, and then I'm fighting Pico, I believe.
My word, what a duel there, folks. I do say that is perhaps, I mean, I got the big spraying off of me by a plebeian, but that is the closest match I've ever had.
Nice.
For a moment there, I thought a combination of the lags and my own poor attitude would bring it down, but I simply cast my mind upon the past and thought back to my trainer, plebeian, who thankfully had shown me many moons ago the method to bleating at Isabella, and it's just use his two best moves and don't do anything else. Because she's too quick. But yes,
Okay.
Very well done to Grid Square, giving me a run for his money. A rising prospect if ever there was one. And his couch shine as well was quite good as well.
Okay, Pico has requested to fight me right now as he has to leave early. So we'll do that actually first.
Well, my face, I'm perhaps a bit ashamed to admit, went red during that match. I can feel it. I haven't looked in the mirror, but I can feel it.
It happens.
And indeed, I had to dig deep. I often swear at myself in matches, but towards the latter half there, when they were a flag away from winning the entire set, I said, okay, I've got to focus now, and I did not speak again. I will certainly be opening a window. Very well played to Grid Square. Oh my goodness.
I thought that was really smart that you started fighting for the center more. I noticed you were stabbing a lot and just going straight for the face the moment an opportunity was there. That was really good.
I was just copying plebeian. Plebeian came up with the strategy. I'm just copying what he saw, monkey see, monkey do style.
Well,
there was no strategy there.
I mentioned that there was a strategy. There must be a strategy you learned from plebeian, just observing the moves. Yeah. So that was good.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, I'm on the left. Pico is on the right.
Like a child watching a drunken and abusive father, that's how I learned how to fight. He beat me senseless. Because the goofy stuff, the big swings, as you say, they weren't really working. Because I like going around the side, but you got to play neutral. You got to play neutral. Anyway, on to our next combat here, and we see the wonderful Piccola versus Caster.
It's me versus Pico.
You versus Pico. I see. I'm a silly sausage. Now, of course, SUBUTAI is very fond of Barbage. He's used the character to great effect against me and many others. Whereas Piccola surprisingly picking Father Zero. Now, not the best matchup, I will say, as a Father Zero main. His biggest weakness is sidesteps, as while his health is superb upon his torso and legs and head, his arms and hands are a tremendous weakness, both in his guard and his health bar. As a result, Barbage, being the king of sneaky sidesteps, as he is often called, has quite the advantage against him. By no means is this a done deal. And a close brawl there ensuing as the both send off no shortage of snapshots. Zero just managing to win the trade. A tumultuous charge from both players, almost sidestepped by SUBUTAI, but not quite, resulting in a double. Dear. Attempting to trade on the inside is never a good idea with such a quick character. Quilts from a long range, the auto dart of many of the characters of Hellish Quart may seem impervious. At close range, the longsword characters are exceptionally vulnerable, as we saw there. It appears Piccola going for a great lash strike, switching foots constantly, left foot forward. Oh, but he won't be switching foots anymore. His knee's been chopped off. You can see SUBUTAI here, a master in his craft, targeting the arms with but a few eloquent methods. The Fool's Guard employed as a last-ditch effort to try and ward off his opponent here. But after multiple attempts, it's proven to not work. And in a flash, if you can believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first round going to SUBUTAI. Like it or lump his fighting style, it certainly is very quick, win or lose.
Let me know how the connection is, by the way.
Honestly, the connection, I will say, is completely fine. I think it was because I was playing with an opponent so far from me on the other side of the world. But it's all done now. I'm not one to complain. I understand the limitations of Hellish Quart, and we foster an international community in this server, sort of like the UN, but slightly less violent. Anyway, we see here a change of strategies from Piccola, who's known as a master of many tricks. While SUBUTAI, of course, can play pretty much any character in Hellish Quart. He's certainly beaten me with half of them. I think he certainly favours his main Barbage. Whereas when it comes to Piccola, I'm not really sure what they favour as a player. But we're about to find out. Nasty double there, keeping them at a range. Now, of course, Marie's exceptional damage and her potent auto guard at long range often means that the best strategy for players looking to go against her is to make the fight messy, as my compatriot would say. So, as a result, we're going to be seeing no shortage of doubles and wild swings. As we see there, Piccola getting a foothold in this match with that slice of the chest that they enjoy so well. SUBUTAI here employing the long guard, hoping to deflect any measure of stabs that Marie can throw. And there we go, another double. And get used to that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be here for quite some time seeing that word. Nasty overhead chop. One of his favourite attacks there. Oh, and a retreating cut, just barely managing to hang on. Now, of course, Marie, one of her few weaknesses since she was buffed was her low stats, especially on her health. Meaning that while she can occasionally survive a cut to her wrist, perhaps anything to the body with some consistency will kill her quite dead. It is a doornail. But, alas, she makes up by that by being a glass cannon, while in days long past, her attacks could scarcely kill a 70-year-old man with Parkinson's. Now they can cut down a man in their prime with a single blow. But regardless, that doesn't seem to be enough against Subutai. Oh, but Bacola, not letting this match slip through their hands so easily. Could we perhaps be seeing a comeback here? It seems so. The score's currently 4-6. It's not impossible to think that this could be a tied-up set soon. But we shall have to see. Subutai in the lead here, looking to close out the set. Employing the Fool's Guard there, with much more success than they did on Zero. Subutai being very careful here, now that he's had his legs chopped out from beneath him. The branch he was sitting on has been sawed out from underneath him. He's in free fall, as we see there. Nasty stab to the guts. And the sword isn't bad either. Wanton aggression there, being punished by a retreating stab to the wrist. Once again going for absolute volume of attacks. None of them quite finding their mark. Oh, but a desperate run-in from Marie, eager to tie out the set, ends up being both of their undoings. The pair being cut down. And a wrist snipe from around the curvature of the earth somehow brings him low. And now we see a tied-up set 6-all. Could go either way. Down it goes, Subutai. After quite a scare, able to close out the set 2-0. And now Subutai will take the left and Bacola on the right. And I wonder if once again they will stick to Marie, whom they had a modicum of success with, versus switching characters once more. We shall have to see. It appears uncertain. But we see Kalkstein, a very interesting choice, a difficult character to play if ever there was one, and as my associate did mention before, he is well balanced, and while I do think Barabaz is a strong character, he's by no means busted. This certainly won't be the easiest of matchups for him. Fancy footwork, getting him punished. And nasty gash. And Subutai with a cheeky leg sweep. Not getting punished for it, but walking away with a cut on the wrist. But of course, the hidden statistic of Kalkstein is that he has asthma, and this being the 1700s, or rather 1600s, there is no cure or medication, so he's liable to suffer an asthma attack and be incapable of breathing, which explains his exhaustion after a mere few swings. Quite the fragile man. Despite his extravagant wear, it does nothing to protect him. As we can see there, although a nasty blow to the skull would likely bring down any man. No man. Again, the wanton volume returning. Kalkstein, while he does have a decent guard, it's not good enough to deflect all those attacks. And we see the Polish Hellish Quart being used to great effect. Sneaking around the guard there and landing in the shoulder. He'll not be getting a massage anytime soon. Stein assuming a defensive posture here, backing up from his opponent. Eager to stem the bleeding of seemingly losing this round and then eventually this set and being completely unequal. Oh, but he starts to turn it around with a double there with some absolute aggression. Just managing to tie things, but he'll need more than just doubles if he wants to make a comeback, let alone win. Now Subutai here appears to be assuming the defensive posture, going for the occasional defensive strikes, and an exhausted Kalkstein is a vulnerable Kalkstein, just as sayings often go. My word, I don't know what that was. They both coiled around each other like snakes. Regardless, Subutai takes the bout. And now he's but one flag away from a complete sweep over this round and dominating the set. Although I would say to Bacola, feel no shame, as Subutai is perhaps among the best players there, but shame isn't what they want to be feeling. They want to be feeling victory, as they just barely managed to get a flag, a foothold in this set. And as we saw before, SUBUTAI struggling to close out the set, just barely. And we know how that turned out for him. He was able to save it. But could perhaps we be seeing a way back into this for Bacola? We'll have to see. No, he stood no chance. And well played to SUBUTAI and well played to Bacola. And SUBUTAI takes the set 3-0.
Pico just alt-tabbed out of the game, but that's okay. Good fight, Pico. I assume you did that by
It
mistake. Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Well played to both. Well played to both. And I must say, SUBUTAI, post-fight interview, I think we should do this more often, although it would slow things down. SUBUTAI, how do you feel about your victory over Bacola?
Yeah, I thought I did good. I thought it'd be rusty because I didn't practice either, to be honest. I was playing a bit of Red Dead Redemption and cooking breakfast. I didn't spar beforehand or do anything to prepare, but it seemed like my reflexes were sharp. But Pico's were sharp too. I know the flags seem kind of lopsided, but even with his calc, like you
Towards
might
the
have
end
seen,
there.
he was doing the chops a lot,
Yes.
and I was countering
He was
them with
making
fast
calc
cuts
seem
of my own.
aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. And so there were a lot of these fast exchanges that maybe they went my way, but if I was not sharp, like most people would have collapsed under that pressure, I think. Because those chops are
Indeed.
nasty that Calc has. So well done.
Indeed. And now, on to our next duel. Well played to both. Bacola, didn't Bacola beat you last week, or there was like 2 duels you did last week?
That would have been Clamino and a beer. Those two beat me.
A beer. I see. Well, a beer is nothing to snuff at. He beat me with perhaps the worst character in the game. So he's a skilled fellow if ever I've seen one. And I don't claim to be one of the best, but I certainly know my way around. The block. Right.
Yeah, and
Now
a
on to the
beer at
next
his
match.
best is stupidly fast as a player. You would have seen that back then. And I just didn't feel like
yes.
I was on my A game, so fair play to a beer.
Sometimes
he
it's not your day.
capitalized. Yeah.
But today was your day. We saw that plain and clear.
Yep.
For all to see.
Yep, sometimes that's all there is to it. Especially in a game like this, it's not very forgiving. If you mess up once, you're gonna get hit. And so that's it.
Indeed. So you better learn from your mistakes while you still can.
Exactly, yeah. Castar on the left, info on the right. Oh yeah, do you need keyboard, Castar? I seem to always forget with some people. Info's got keyboard already. PS5. Okay, so I remembered correctly. Click the screen. You're on the left. We might have to back out. Let's do that. I'll reset the controllers as well. Sometimes Parsec has strange bugs like that. That's why you can reset the gamepads. I'll even unplug mine. Just, you know, there's no need for it to be plugged in anymore. I will run to the bathroom. I just need to make sure these guys can actually fight. So I'm gonna wait. No response. Try rejoining maybe, Castar? I don't know. Sometimes that's all you have to do. Wait, info left for some reason. Interesting. Anyway, info's here now. I guess they both rejoined. Or plan to. You should be in, yeah. Never mind, yeah, you're in. Maybe it was just delayed. Alright, Castar left, info right. Brilliant. Now, are we gonna see a Marta Mir? Doing great. For most people, the connection seems to be way better today, so that's good. Bobo had a bit of an issue, but you know, these things happen. It's not unheard of. But we got it sorted out, and Bobo still won, so that's good. You guys can fight. I'll be right back. I'll leave the commentary to Bobo if he's still here.
And a martyr duel here. I just got back from fixing myself a drink. And, I must say, I'm quite interested to see the result of this duel. So far, it seems fairly even, neither player taking too much of an advantage, but through the turbulence of a lag spike, it appears that Castar has taken the initial bout. I've played Misinfo and Castar many times before, and both are very good players, I will say. The rounds appear to be going thick and fast here. My goodness. Now what's interesting is the mobility with which both players are engaging here. Misinfo appears to be on a very defensive keel, and if you wonder why I'm calling her Misinfo, that's the name of the Discord, though her title is just Info, so I'll call her that from now on. Info is playing remarkably a defensive game with many retreating cuts and stabs, whereas Castor appears to be taking the initiative and getting punished for it in this case, on the brink of exhaustion and losing a great deal of blood. My word. Castar once again taking the bat. Despite taking an early lead, these individual bouts, well, they're not going fast at all. They both players seemingly reluctant to attack and happy just to launch stabs from a long range. But I suppose that is how you play. Marta, she does like to keep her enemies far away. But there, seizing the initiative and winding past their opponent's guard, Castar once again takes the bout. Oh, but a sneaky strike there, sneaking under the blade and into the stomach of her opponent. And for winning this duel, making the score 2-4. Perhaps starting a comeback, but we shall have to see. As I have played both players, and Info has been trying to make Marta work for a great deal of time to limited success, so I do hope that their training does indeed pay off, and it appears to be doing so as the sidesteps bring them great success. Making the score 5-3, but will it be enough to match the aggression of Castor? We shall have to see. Oh, and a wonderful sidestep there with a fake out stab as an invitation, only to punish their opponent on the approach. Very risky, but very rewarding. In here, but neither finding their marks just yet. Ooh, but the overhead chop getting punished with the direct blow. As I often say in boxing, a cross will always beat a hook. If we see there, Castar takes the bout. Quite hurriedly attempting to close the set off. And a quick start there as Info seeks to change their fortunes in this match, but Castar responds in kind, evening this round 1-1. Two opponents, evenly matched in both skill and character. We shall have to see which fighter takes the bout. Because currently, even with an early victory, it could go either way. Attempting to weave under the blade there, but not quite finding their mark. Still wrist snipe there. But Marta has just a touch more health than Marie. She's not invincible by any means, as we see there, as both players die, but she's tough enough to take a cut or two. Weaving around the blade and scoring another cut. Caster gets ping cushion there, but just manages to hold on to life. Perhaps their extravagant uniform protecting them from the worst of the damage. Oh my. Both players swinging from the hip there. Caster attempting to tempt fate with a double, but not quite finding victory. As we see, Marta's health barely getting through there as she takes... Info takes more than a few cuts, but just barely manages to hang on. And a push right through the neck. What a brutal stab that was. You wouldn't want that. Yeah, be tricky to recover from. I hope you don't like breathing, because you're not going to after that stab. My word, a stab to the shoulder there. Caster responds in kind with a stab to the head, making a comeback perhaps, and almost evening up the set at 3-2. Punishing the stab there. You don't want to do that with Info, she's seen all the stabs. Very familiar with the character. But of course, Caster, I don't think Marta's their main, to say the least, because I've seen them play quite a few characters. I've even fought them before myself, and I don't recall them playing Marta, but perhaps I simply have early onset Alzheimer's. It's hard to tell. As we see there, a nasty duel. Turning into a brawl there with Info taking the lead. Wait, am I delusional? Wait, Castar's been on the left the entire time. I thought that was Info. Well, that makes a lot more sense, because I thought, wow, Info really did improve a lot. But no, never mind. It's they switched skins and sides, much to my befuddlement. Regardless, anyway, just reverse everything I did in my mind. It's the other way around. Or in my commentary. You know what I mean. Still seemingly still quite even here, with Info hoping to make the comeback. My mistake. But both players still on a defensive keel, looking for those wrist snipes that Marta is so famous for. And Info making it a brawl as she repays her opponent in kind for recent humiliations. So perhaps humiliations is the wrong word. Lovely stuck there to the shoulder. Now the set's all tied up. We could see it go 1-1 here. A stab to the face makes that prospect seem unlikely. Then again, never underestimate an animal. Well, never mind. Underestimate that animal, because Catstar's taken the round. And I believe that makes it 2-0 to Catstar, unless I'm very confused.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, SUBUTAI left. I hadn't noticed. I think you were merely being stoic. Info is on the left, I've been informed. It's merely the title over the YouTube stream, which has not been updated. So, ladies and gentlemen, my befuddlement at who was on the left and who was on the right. I was right initially. Don't disregard my commentary. As always, I was right the whole time.
Alright.
Magnificent.
So it is 1-1, that's my understanding.
Yes, it is. And a very close set there. Evenly matched in both characters and skills, as we see. This set perhaps heading towards something of a draw. But that's not possible in a zero-sum game like this.
Yeah.
Info taking the bout there.
Yeah, it was good.
How long would a bout have to go on for it to be called a draw? What if there's just an hour of doubles? What if that happens?
It's not terribly likely. So we haven't
No, of course not. No. But if there was a genetically made clone to play at Hellish Quart and we cloned him twice and, you know, mystically made all stimuli equal, and they were only capable of producing doubles, I mean, it would be quite the duel, I say that much.
Yeah, you'd have to wait until there's a gentleman's agreement or something to end the fight on a
Yeah.
draw.
Perhaps. Though such a thing I doubt would ever happen in USFC history.
Yeah, it has happened in real life sometimes though. Both fighters are wounded, the fight goes on for a while, and then maybe the seconds like break it up or something like that, because they've both proven, you know, their point, right?
Indeed. Not worth dying over.
Yeah, doesn't
But,
always happen.
when you have a-
Sometimes they fight to the death, but other times not.
Well, when you have a virtual life to throw away, fighting to the death sometimes becomes quite preferable.
Yes,
And
yes.
we see here, Info on the right, Castor on the left. Castor are taking an early lead with their retreating cuts. Now it appears Info's the one on the back foot, with a nasty two-hit combo there to the wrist and the chest. Or perhaps the breast, but, you know, that blow to the head seems brutal. I've never seen it not kill if it hits.
Yeah. Ooh, nice follow-up. Castar on
A word.
a roll.
Indeed. Making use of that push. As we mentioned earlier, that push can be very potent. Because it is both an attack and a push. Meaning it has a built-in follow-up.
Nice cut to the arm. No kill.
Nice cut there. The cuts, in my mind, are never particularly potent. They don't exactly do that much damage, but
Yeah.
they are still a vital part of any character's kit, especially the rapiers.
Yeah, it's more of a setup and a way to beat the blade. The Muay Thai kick there, followed up by another cut.
Indeed.
Allows
They don't
for
teach you
a
that in the fencing school.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, Marta has an honest-to-God roundhouse kick as her kick, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Push
he
there,
interrupts
not
the
quite
push.
finding its mark.
Yeah, that's
Unlucky.
because of the cut. So the cut can interrupt the push. That's why people attack in the pushes, because usually those will override the push.
Well, what aggression paying off there as Castor quickly makes a comeback. Yeah, I don't think that's a roundhouse kick because you have to physically turn around for that to be the case, SUBUTAI.
I mean, that's what we called it, but
Oh, well, fair
any kick
enough.
from
I'm
that
not going
direction,
to
yeah.
doubt your vernacular.
Yeah, certainly when I was in unarmed martial arts, that would have just been a roundhouse kick, so.
I mean, my experience in martial arts was I was a green belt in Thai boxing. Far back in the day, back when I was a teenager.
Yeah, and also she's hitting with the instep to the body, so that tells me that's a roundhouse kick, not what Max is showing. It's clearly a kick to the leg.
That's the knee stomp. They
Yeah.
teach you that one. That's a very damaging move. Because if the knee goes the wrong way, well, it isn't going to snap back, is it now?
Yeah.
And off to an explosive start to this duel with an early hit there getting scored by Info, but quickly punished by Castor. Now, one thing I will say is that I don't think in all my time at Hellish Quart I've seen Marta get exhausted. She must have a steam engine in her chest or something.
Yeah. It's really rare, and it's usually because she's been wounded if she ever gets tired at all.
Indeed. She certainly does not have the asthma of Couchstein. Oh, and a blow there. An overhead chop. And a nasty impalation. Impalation? Impaling? I don't know what you'd call that.
Stabbing.
Skewering to the
Yeah.
chest. Yeah, skewering.
Skewering.
Impalation
yeah.
is not a word. Yes. Although,
Impalement.
if you were a
You could say impalement as well.
Impalement, there you go. Although, if you were a cannibal and you wanted to skewer anyone, Marta certainly wouldn't be a bad choice. As we see there. Perhaps they should introduce like a fantasy ogre to Hellish Quart, just completely ruin the vibe of the game.
He did make an
Yeah,
April
as a
Fool
DLC.
showing a werewolf, actually. And it just slaughtered
Did it?
Laszlo. Yeah. It's still on his YouTube,
That's funny.
I think. It's named Kowalski. Yeah.
That is funny. I shall certainly have to look that up, as I must say that rather does titillate the senses.
Yeah.
Regardless, Castor making an early lead here, but we've seen miraculous things happen before, and the pressure of perhaps losing the set causes Info to make a comeback there with a sneaky blow to the leg and a nice visit upstairs.
Trade of hits
Both
there
getting
to
there,
the
a
arm.
blow to
Yeah.
the wrist.
Incortada.
Indeed. That's the arm that, if Martha was alive today, and in England, she would be using to change her gear stick in her car. If she chose an automatic car, so I think she'll be alright in the 1700s with a mere blow to the left wrist. Oh, and they're sneaking through there, both trying to trade blows, but Info there getting overwhelmed by a series of attacks.
Yeah, Castar was just more precise, I would say, this time.
Indeed. And aggressive, that's sort of been the story of this entire combat. What we see there, Info being very precise, Castar has been taking the initiative, certainly, I would say. But we see here a changing of fortunes as Info charges in, not quite able to get the kill, and even after 3 cuts, Martha still seems resilient and wanting to fight. Although a nasty blow to the leg will be slowing her down, even more than she already is.
Go slow. Nice.
My word. Oh, but the push. Just barely finding a mark and a desperate struggle there. And the set's all even. Info needs to win this if they want a chance of winning and wants to stay in the set.
Ooh, I think Info wanted a grab there. Marta's grab is gnarly, but does not land it.
No. Truly unfortunate. Nasty blows to the shoulder there. And to the leg.
Oh, they
and they
each other.
match one another.
And then Info kept going.
It's a mirror match in more ways than one, it seems.
Yeah.
The great minds think alike, perhaps. Was that a blow to the face that she survived? I think it was.
I think it missed.
Oh, I see.
Or at least it didn't hit directly.
No, there's blood on the rapier. Although I do find that if you hit the opponent as they hit you, both attacks can get weakened to an extent. You get that a lot on Zera due to hit the slowness of his attack.
Oh.
And the grab right through the spine.
Yeah, that's what
An
Info
exceptional and flashy finish from Info there. No, marking a telling blow both to their opponent's score and their morale, no doubt. I've been sent a message over Discord by one of the members of our community who wants me to talk about a cat. And I will say he's a charming fellow. Very talented, clearly.
USFC, United States Fish Commission. It's actually a thing.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should join them to getting some matches. I'm sure they'd destroy us. A couple of blows there, even one to the skull. Just barely scalping her, but still Info clings to life. After an early lead there. Things look dire. Well, a couple of desperate swings, and there it is.
Confirm nor deny any association with the American government agency. Nice grab.
My word, yet another grab. As has become her fashion, as she seems to be a dark horse in this race to win the game.
Yeah, nice stab in the arm.
A wrist snipe there, Caster. Perhaps wanting to change their aggressive tactics, as the grab is a rare but remarkably efficient way of punishing the opponent merely walking you down, as Caster has been.
Nice push, no kill.
Push there,
Oh,
but a returning push from Info settles the bout. My word. Very unfortunate when you're in a mirror match, your opponent does the same move as you and you die. It's frustrated me no shortage of times against Plebeian. Oh, and a couple of blows there. Find their mark.
favorite fish, fried or smoked? Haddock is nice. Max. Max is asking us about
Salmon?
fish right now. Salmon is nice,
Indeed.
yeah. But haddock is our favorite here in Canada. We have our own version of fish and chips. And usually it's made with
I
either
see.
cod or haddock. So,
Cod is nice. Cod is the a very common, perhaps, fish type.
yeah.
A blow to the stomach there, getting it done. Nice,
think
and it appears in a
haddock is
reversal
the
of
most common here.
fortunes.
Yeah.
Info is, well, not a clean sweep by any means, but they're certainly taking the lead where before they were getting a mauling. Showing their expertise on this character.
Yeah.
An excellent double combo there. It appears these fencers have taught one another a thing or two about how their character works. And that's the thing about duos that isn't often explored. They're an excellent exploration of what the character can do. Because you often see all the tools come out of the bag in a bout like this. And a snipe to the wrist.
Nice.
Ties up the set. And Info wins the bout 3-2. It couldn't be closer. Well played to both. And that was an excellent display of Marta and her skills. Got drained. Castar saying he got drained, but regardless, both players are tactful and showing good sportsmanship. Anyway. On to our next
have
bout.
a lot of self-processed meats. It's way better than supermarket bought. Yeah, we have lots of good meat here, especially in Alberta. Alberta is kind of known for beef and, you know, all sorts of different meat. Elk as well, we have that, and buffalo. Okay, next up we have Oak against Apostle. Apostle is kind of slept on. He doesn't appear very much in tournaments, but he has a lot of experience under his belt. He commonly participates in the USFC though. He's just as good as any other Saber master on the server, so I thought this matchup would actually be really close.
Indeed. Oak and Helix, of course, being a champ recently, although I have heard our contender that fought earlier, and indeed, did they lose earlier? Levenas, a new player, actually beat Oak and Helix in a tournament, very impressively.
Okay,
I
that's
think.
not easy.
No, not by any means. Oak and Helix is a pro, if ever there has been one. Oh, Levenas, in fact, informing me that I've been misinformed and they lost to Oak, which makes a lot more sense for a new player. But regardless, being able to challenge him and holding your own is... that's a different Argentinian. So a different Argentinian did beat Oak, Levenas. His friend, who I played with, and absolutely battered me, as Samuel beat Oak. And I must say, they said, oh, this is my first week of playing the game. And I couldn't do anything but shake my head as I was dealing with a prodigy. Clearly.
Okay, Oak will take the left, Apostle will be on the right. And the lag does not appear to have been a problem. Yeah, thanks, Castor. I really appreciate that feedback. That tells me, I don't know, maybe I have to reset it each time. Maybe I just got lucky today with the ISP. But at least I know it's not just Parsec dying all the time or something like that. It could have been Parsec's side too, though. Who knows? Maybe they've resolved whatever is going on. Could be a combination of those things too. But it appears to be better today, so.
Let's see, Oak versus Apostle. Oak taking Yesek, a well-rounded character, versus Hassan. Often considered, what would you say? Is he the weakest or second weakest of the Sabres?
I'd say weakest right now.
Really? Even more so than Sava?
Yeah. Although Sava's not that far behind, but I think Sava at least has a good guard going for him, whereas Hassan doesn't.
Yes.
And a big
Well, at the
saber,
very...
too.
Indeed. At the very least, Hassan has tactical on his side.
Yeah, that can also be helpful in some matchups, but I just think he's really exposed and easy to... A lot of the Sabres have good upcuts, so they just can force good side steps like this, so then Hassan just gets eaten alive by characters that are a bit more responsive. Yeah.
Oak and Helix taking an early lead here as he's picking this Hassan apart with overwhelming volume and speed.
Yeah, that's what he's showing us here. Like, Hassan does have speed, but Yazuk does too. And Yazuk has a guard as well. So it feels like Yazuk is just a better version of Hassan.
And an interesting mix-up there on his opponent. The leg sweep followed by the head cut. Very good way of confusing the opponent's guard.
Whoa, nice punch.
And a mighty
no
punch.
follow-up.
No follow-up. But of
That
course
could
a
knock
few more
somebody out,
punches. Yeah. From an angry Janissary, I think If he took up a career as boxing, he'd be more successful than
Yeah.
a fencer.
It reminds me of an account that I read where a British sailor was fighting, I think it was against an Indian swordsman, as in from the subcontinent India, not Indian as in from North America, indigenous person. The sailor literally just came over and punched him after his sword was broken, and he won the fight that way. Just straight up knocked him out. Yeah.
The winner's
imagine
history,
that.
I suppose.
Yeah, your cutlass gets
Yeah.
broken, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just punch this guy. And you punch him, and he just gets knocked down flat. He was apparently really imposing as a fighter, so, you know, this big sailor, you can imagine, just comes over and
I see.
punches this Indian guy, who presumably was shorter than him, because they mentioned his, you know, how big he was compared to his opponent, so.
Yes. Well, what was I going to say? Which just goes to show, I mean, a punching there certainly works in real life, but in the fictionalized account of Hellish Quart, it's blown up in Hassan's face, who has now completely changed strategies and positions on the leaderboard, going the opposite way to debatably the best fencer in the game of Alex Dionys. Disputed, perhaps, but one of the best.
I guess in fairness, though, a shortcut on average is way more threatening than a punch. So I get why the game handles it that way. But there are situations where a punch can decide even an armed contest.
The double here is, who's fighting again? Apostle. Apostle?
Yeah, Apostle with Alex, yeah.
Right, I've never seen them before, which is why I couldn't remember their name, but showing the wanton aggression of Alex can simply be overwhelming. Even if he plays defensively, the sheer speed and volume of his attacks can be overwhelming for any opponent's guard, but Oak appears to be picking him apart quite well, surprisingly.
Yazuk
a
at
nasty
least
punch
also has a good guard, so he can kind of stand up to Alex with his staying power in a way some other characters can't.
Oh, and an excellent prediction there. That attack was launched from the hip well before the opponent saw their sword.
Yeah.
Falling out on his opponent.
Ooh.
You gotta watch those wrists. Nasty double.
Another double. Oak is showing
Swinging
some
from
really
the
good
hip here.
precision here, because Denny's typically wins the trade, but if you are precise with Yazuk, you can still kill the opponent just so.
He's deadly and quick, as his achievement likes to say. As we see there from another leg sweep. He's still got a few tricks up his sleeve. But of course, Dionys, effective as he is, all he needs to do is walk his opponent down if he seeks to win. As his auto guard is absolutely resolute, perhaps the best in the game. As we see there, it doesn't matter how many times you get past his guard or swing into him, it's like he has the light of God is protecting him, almost. And a nasty punch there. In fact, Alex Dionys is so quick on his feet and so effective that he can merely walk up to his opponent and kick them. Or punch them. And that's all he needs to win a bout. It's all tied up here. Oak eager to try and finish out this set. As, from experience, I can say playing against Alex can be very frustrating. He can often whittle you down and overwhelm you with the sheer speed and veracity of his attacks. But that's not enough to overwhelm Oak, as he's a practiced fellow if I've ever seen one, and he closes out the set. Or round, rather, as he has done many times before.
Yeah, Oak is great at clutching it out like that and punishing even small mistakes, so props to him. That's also a tough matchup for Yazuk, at least traditionally, but I think Oak did a great job of playing to his strengths, so in the end, the pick didn't decide the fight.
Now we see here another complete change of strategy to Yan, a very consistent fencer, if ever there has been one. Of course, this is an interesting matchup as Ken is described as Freudian slip there. Yan is described as the Ken to Yazuk's Ryu, as they're considered to be the default characters of the game, who can do a little bit of everything, but one's more aggressive than the other, of course. nasty overhead swing there. Finding its mark. When a retreating cut to the arm. Blows him low. But he's still in the fight. Oh, a quick stab there. That's the thing, Oak, making it look easy almost. Attempt again at the same sort of attack. The pair trading blows here. You don't want to be doing that against a Yan, however. As, surprisingly, he's one of the highest health pools in the game. What's interesting about Yan is that he has a massive bald spot on the back of his head and is losing all his hair. This is a reference to the fact that many men will go bald in their lifetime. And here is where I would reference a sponsor if we had one, but we don't because we're dirt poor in this league, and I don't think we would ever accept a sponsor, would we? SUBUTAI.
No, probably not.
No. Maybe from Kubold. If Kubold gave us a sponsor, oh, I have a new game, fellas. Perhaps then we'd be more receptive. But
we're also not
given
monetized in the
extenuating-
first place, so
exactly. Although we do occasionally have £30 gift pound giveaways, gift card giveaways. If you can win a duel.
courtesy of Venator,
Venator, of course, known as Mr. Moneybags by many people, and by many people I mean as me.
Yeah.
He resembles the Monopoly Man in day-to-day life, as I have seen pictures of him. Bald head, top hat, monocle, mustache, and all.
Yeah, and some of the players, they get really enthusiastic about it too. Beer especially, he'll sometimes ask if Venator will give him money for third place. Really
if only we could all be so bold and audacious.
Whoa,
Such confidence.
Nice exchange between these two. It looks like Apostle got the better end of it, but still Oak is in it. Another exchange
He's
after
clinging
that.
on.
Both of these players showcasing great skills.
Yes, indeed. They are as closely evenly matched as two characters on the roster can be, in my opinion. Two different characters, I mean. It's beautiful to see lasting swings like this and not duels that end instantaneously. A few sashaying blows there, landing on his opponent's chest, but not quite finishing him off. Oh, and an interesting attempt at a low cut into a stab there. Not quite getting its mark and getting punished for it with a Hellish Quart of his own. Apostle here. He's but 2 flags away from winning this set, but if he can win this next battle, then he can find a way back in. Another attempt at that stab. The pair showing great respect for one another's attacks. But a nasty blow there, 2 nasty cuts there. And a cut to Apostle, this is close. It'll be over in a matter of moments.
Nice exchange.
Indeed. Oak dancing on the edge of exhaustion here, getting every drop out of his character's health bar.
Nice hits.
Oh, and he finds its mark. Beautiful work there. Intercepting his opponent's blow. Very well done to him.
Yeah. Goes low. Fainting by both. I'd love to see it. They're both trying to catch each other out.
Indeed. And we see that his favourite combo, the leap forward and the follow-up, the 2-1 there from Oak. Clearly knows what he's doing. Going for the most reliable attacks he can as he tries to close out the set.
Oh, and he gets his head there. Nice by Apostle. It is still on this fight. Amazing exchange. Actually, Hall of Fame worthy exchange there, I would say. We
Indeed,
have
that was a
for
proper
those who are
battle.
not aware, we have a Hall of Fame channel where you can submit fights so that we can all view them. A lot of people haven't used that feature lately, but if you have a fight that you think is worthy of that, let us know and we can put it up. It just has to be, the only criteria is that it has to be a particularly noteworthy fight. Like, don't just put any fight up there. It has to be cinematic and
Exactly.
back and forth, that type of thing.
If you considered adding film bars to the top and bottom of the screen and horny Inception action music, because that'd make everything more cinematic. Nolan North
It
taught
would,
me that.
Yeah, especially.
Who needs to hear what's going on in the? Who cares what's going on in the film if you can't hear it? Eh?
Right. Nice hit to the head.
Indeed.
Postal deciding to stick with Jan, which I think is wise actually. Jan is a strong character, and it's working really well for him, even better than Nice.
Indeed. The first one he's found success with so far. But it was close, it could still very easily not go his way. Very fond of that stab there.
Yeah. And I like that Apostle is
on the
picking different cut angles too, that people don't often use with Jan. Like throwing Oak off guard. Nice exchange again. This is the cleanest saber fencing we've seen in a while.
Oh! But a nasty hilt bash there. Almost laying his opponent low. Oak very happy about this, no doubt.
Yeah, and he got some blood for his trouble. Nice hit to the head. Capitalizing there.
Indeed, very well fought. After a missed push as well, I think that was. He was very thankful about that. Oftentimes when you miss something that dire, it's wise just to simply pray and hope your attack goes through your opponent. Oh. Swift little dash in there.
Oh, nice hit to the head. Precise there by Apostle.
That, you know, I don't know what you'd call it, a haymaker. That sort of sword swing has given him great success so far.
Yeah.
As Jan.
Nice.
Ooh, but a retreating cut there. Even that far away. Given his overwhelming speed, Yasek can punish many things that many other characters cannot.
I would just call that a wrist cut, by the way, that cut to the head that he does horizontally, because he does it with the wrist.
I see.
Yeah. Double. I have to say, I know the flags are lopsided right now, but Apostle has been giving Oak a fight for each one, so it is definitely not over.
Certainly a run for his money there.
Nice single
But a comeback looks unlikely, I will say.
Yeah, he shielded
he's taking the
himself
lead.
and stabbed the hand. Apostle has done a great job, but it might just be over now. It's hard to make a comeback against Oak. Nice.
Yes, very dominant fighter, and very well done to him. Moje, I don't know what that means in Polish. Probably means I've won and you haven't. There you go.
Some kind of taunt.
Indeed. And not as good as Gideon's, I will say. He has to work on his taunt game. That Yasek. He's a bit too serious. Well played to both. Oka Neelix takes the set. But Apostle, I must say, after a long time away, he gave the champion a very good fight. Or a former champion, rather. As I think Oka Neelix has since lost his title.
Yes,
to
a beer has it now, yeah. And actually,
no shame in that.
a beer beat me for the title is what happened. So I'm the one he got the title from, yeah.
Well, perhaps Oka Neelix will give a beer a run for his money. Moje means mine. According to a chatter in the Discord from Clamino, another very good player, it means mine, which...
So, it's my victory, yeah.
I see. Perhaps he's a fan of Storage Wars. You ever seen that program, Storage Wars? Fat Americans in the glaring hot sun stare around a storage tanker that you'd see on a shipping boat, a storage container rather, and they bid on what's inside without knowing what's within, and they come up with the most astounding calls for bidding. One of them simply shouts "mine," another guy shouts "boom." You know, these great big Americans with their great big appetites, bodies, and personalities. Yes. Can't come soon enough, is what I'll say.
Okay, while we wait for somebody to volunteer to fight Togoshi, we'll get Maestro and Platypi in here since I believe
I'll fight
they're both
Togoshi if you want.
available.
I don't know how
Sure.
good he is, but I could give him a go. Yeah. I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay.
I'll still be listening. I just can't talk.
Yeah. I hear you. Castor can fight again as well. Okay. Let's see. Bobo won his fight, so I might get Castor to do it, but we'll see. No hard feelings towards Bobo, of course. I just tend to prefer to prioritize people who've lost over people who've won. Just because, you know, if you win twice, it's kind of sketchy. That's usually how we do it if we get repeat fights. Sometimes it doesn't turn out that way. Sometimes there's corruption and stuff like that afoot. But
Well, to me, it's funny that you pointed out, because my intent was corruption. I wanted to get 2 wins in 1 week so I could very quickly build up my win streak again. Never seen Togoshi before. Are they any good?
I haven't either, so I have no idea.
A dark horse, then we will have to see. Regardless of who they're fighting, I wish them luck in their bout.
Yeah, so Dauntless volunteered, hasn't fought yet, so I guess we'll just do Dauntless in that case. Just give Bobo the title fight. Even more corruption, although honestly, Bobo would be the underdog. I'm sure he would.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm an okay fighter, but if I'm struggling against Grid Square, which I was, I'm not beating whoever the champion is. A beer, I stand no chance against a beer because the guy that trained me, I think, would struggle against a beer. I stand no chance. That's not even Rocky versus Apollo Creed. That's like Stephen Hawking versus Apollo Creed.
So Maestro is not here yet. We'll get Togoshi to fight Dauntless for now. If you guys need a keyboard, let me know. I'm pretty sure Dauntless does. I have no idea about Togoshi. Don't need. Alright. Okay, Togoshi on the left. And Dauntless on the right. No, it's fine, Maestro. We just moved on to yours because we were waiting for somebody to choose. Okay. Let's see who they picked. I didn't actually see. Togoshi went with Marie, so typically I would favor Marie here. Although I have seen
Indeed.
Yendrik cause some havoc before, so it's not impossible. Oh, nice.
Yes. Although Dauntless, of course, being an underdog, he's a great, perhaps the only main of Yendrik in this server. So, of course, whenever he crops up, I do like to favour him in a bout. If anyone can make it happen with Yendrik, he can.
Yeah, most people play Yendrik for fun, so there's not many true mains of the character.
Indeed. Of course, because, well, the Fokosh in real life is a potent weapon. Yendrik naturally is balanced in such a way where he can't use all of them, as if he could effortlessly parry the blades of his opponent by whacking them to the side, I think he'd be a tad too strong.
Yeah. Beating the blade a lot.
The thing with the blade beats, though, is his swings have so much recovery time on them that he often can't capitalize on it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you're not hitting the opponent, they might have an opportunity to just back away and let you whiff, so... Sometimes blade beats, if you can't capitalize on them, like you said, actually don't help you at all.
Indeed. That's often the case I see with Zera beating the blade, because his attacks are so committal that even if you do it, well, what now? It's going to take 15 years to wind up another one.
Yeah, you want to crash through the guard and hit them directly a lot of the time.
Exactly. We see here, Taguchi taking an early lead, this unproven fighter.
Nice.
Striking their opponent, but losing a flag there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Jendrik. Despite being a weak character, he has abundant stats, doesn't he? High speed, high health, high everything.
Not high health, but he does have like good attack power and stuff like that. He's a glass cannon.
Oh, I see. I thought he had very high health.
No, it's pretty average, I'd say.
I see. Well, I'm merely a fool that interrupted you. I apologise.
All good.
Now, what were you going to... Oh, a hook there. Very well done. Cutting his opponent, no less. But
Nice.
mainly bringing his opponent close so they could hit him easily, it would seem. Trying to wheel around there. Just barely edging the victory. Dauntless living up to his name there. As he confidently strikes against all odds. Nasty blow to the head there. Who has that, on average, the most damaging strikes in the game? Because it's either Zero or Jendrik. Or perhaps Tavanaski.
I think it might turn out to be, actually. Yeah. Denise is up there, too. But...
Oh, of course he is.
Yeah. Especially his big wind-up swings, Denise can hit like a truck.
Indeed he can.
But with a perfect hit, actually, the rapiers also have some of the highest damage in the game. They can hit for like 200 damage with a perfect hit.
Makes sense. You're not surviving something like that.
Yeah. Nice.
You see Jendrik going in with wanton aggression and volume and overwhelming his opponent's guard. And despite all being lost early on, Dauntless is able to take the round. Surprising everyone. And of course, Tagoshi, a new fighter. We haven't seen them before, but a decent first showing, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, so I've been informed that Clamino needs to fight right after this, so we'll do that, actually, before we do Maestro against Platypi.
I see.
We'll end it off with a bout between North American players, I guess, which will be pretty action-packed. These two are really good.
Indeed. Well, Kimono and Maestro are some of the finest players in the server. Tagoshi coming in with a change of strategy here to Yan, a very speedy character, and one that can quite effortlessly wheel around Jendrik's weak guard.
Yep. Yeah, good pick overall. Less room for error, I would say, with Marie. A lot more room with a saber because you have more blade to cut and slash with. So if you're if your distance is a little bit wrong, you're still guaranteed to get a hit.
Indeed. And it's often joked that he is still the best rapier character in the game, despite having a saber, Yan, simply due to the efficacy of his stabs.
Yeah. And that combined with his cutting power and range, I think is what makes him S tier. Plus his HP is pretty good. It's not the best in the game, but it's above average, so it can help him a lot.
Regardless. No amount of health is able to stand up to a guard that Jendrik puts in, to an attack that he puts in, because he hits exceptionally hard.
Nice.
And a stun lock.
Yeah, those punch combos are nasty. Very hard to get
Indeed.
out of. That's another thing that Jendrik has up close. The jump out of measure. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, he's not Super Mario. We know that much for certain.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always. It's funny you mentioned that because I'm always reminded of that as well. Especially with the hammer, like when Mario jumps with the hammer.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, a classic. Hammer Bros. I think though, against various Super Mario Bros. Enemies, Jendrik would have a pretty good time against them. You could certainly give Bowser a run for his money with the old axe of his.
Oh, definitely.
But his Princess Peach might be a sheep, because he is a shepherd after all, and they are known to have intimate relations with animals.
Goes low, nice. Actually does a leg void. That was good by Dauntless, but Dauntless has to watch that stamina. A close fight now, actually. Dauntless is starting to struggle. Sidestepping on the Ender is a great idea, too, but he got tired. Nice. Hits the leg.
Taking a lead yet again from what seemed initially like a hopeless matchup, Dauntless is making the underdog story come true.
Oh.
But Tagoshi, not letting it go so easily, he's no doubt quite eager to finish this off.
Yeah, he didn't overthink it there, which is good. He just went forward and started cutting and slashing, which can be a good way for Saber to win, and that was close. But Dauntless forcing the double. Dauntless showing some good footsies. Is there lag? Yeah. So just wait until both of you long guard and then you can go. Yeah. Sometimes lag spikes happen, that's normal. Very unfortunate when it does happen in a crucial moment. In this case, not a big deal. Oh, to the kidney, but he also took a hit. Axe head to the kidney would really hurt.
Indeed. More than a kidney punch, a kidney chop.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, a blow to the legs there, not quite getting punished. Jendrik
Yeah.
once again getting cut, but hanging on by a thread.
Oh, nice.
Oh, but weaving around the guard with a sidestep of his own. Dauntless takes the bout. Very closely fought there. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, Dauntless was showing great mastery of his footsies there. Able to let that whiff and then come in for the counter. Instead of using a guard, he was just using all footwork as his defense. So really good on his part.
Indeed.
It's not over yet, though. Isabella now. The big guns are coming out. It's like we're progressively going up the tiers as far as powerful characters. I'd say most people consider Isabella a touch better than Yon, not by much, but a little bit stronger.
Well, both characters are perhaps considered better than Jendrik, that's for certain. Looking at his win rate, Jendrik actually only has a win rate of 35% of the time.
Interesting, yeah. I'm not surprised, though.
No, not at all.
Oh.
Although, from a character perspective, I doubt he could count that high.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. He's definitely not the smartest of characters. If you just look at his arcade description and stuff like that.
He is something of a yokel.
Yeah.
A ragamuffin, if ever there was one.
Yeah.
What's interesting about both of these characters is that they... his head snapped right back there. That was very violent.
Yeah.
They both have very potent high guards, is what I will say. Isabella known for her high guard chops, as we see here, but Jendrik too having a quite potent one. Perhaps not quite as good, but can certainly get the job done.
Yeah. And
There's
his high guard
loading
lasts through the
attacks.
guard, unlike Isabella's, which really helps Jendrik, I would say.
Indeed, that is certainly one of his equalisers, and in the commentator's curse, perhaps wrongly, we've helped both of combatants out here, as they've began using the high guard.
Yeah. Although Dauntless with good footwork and precise chops at the right moment is still more than able to counter that. Oh, nice.
Oh, and a quick run in there. Punishing the Fiend.
Yeah. I think
Tagoshi desperate
Togoshi-
for a comeback here.
Yeah, and I think he has the right idea, not overthinking it, just charging in, getting in close where the axe head is less potent. That's one of the best ways to deal with Hendrik.
And if anyone's good at trading, it's Isabella, as her potent long guard and heavy damaging range is more than enough to close out most bouts.
Balls of steel on
I mean, that-
Dauntless's part, though. He just walked forward, even though he didn't have much of a guard, and punched his opponent before killing.
Like I say, he lives up to his name. Certainly, he fears no man. Whether or not fearing someone is stupid or brave depends on how successful you are in fighting them.
Yeah. Nice retreat.
Ooh, a retreating cut there.
Yeah, countering the counter with the retreat attack.
Now Tagoshi's but one battle away from losing this set. Can they pull out a miracle?
Nice push.
Oh, and a push
but the
there.
retreat attack saves it. That was good. Togoshi successfully
Pure
countering the
desperation.
push.
And
Another
a snap
hit.
cut there. Not quite able to kill his opponent, but Tagoshi certainly
Yeah.
quite happy with these defenses. Hendrik very slowed down here, but not out the fight just yet. Both entering the high guard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hendrik wins the bout. Very well done to him. That was a very entertaining duel.
Yeah.
And Dauntless wins 3-0. First for him, as he's been on something of a losing streak as of late. Well played to both characters. Both players, sorry, not characters. Although they are characters in of themselves. And I must say, Tagoshi, I've never seen you before, but welcome to Hellish Quart, if this is your first time playing on multiplayer. Don't rough yourself up, Tagoshi. I thought for a first time that was a strong showing.
Alright, we're actually doing the champion fight now because Clemino has to go soon. And it's late for a beer, I'm sure, so that works out.
Yes.
The beer is turning on his PC. Well, you better hurry up. Nah, I'm kidding. It's all good. We're actually doing great for time. It's been just over 2 hours, which is actually pretty a short period of time for USFC. We usually expect these events to take 3 hours for perspective. Sometimes 4 if we run into issues or it's particularly big event. This time it was a little bit on the short side initially, and then some people joined in the end. Funny I say that because there was 15 people. Definitely not a bad turnout by any means, but we've often been getting like 16, 18, 20 players signing up.
Indeed.
So
Well, we've seen something of a boom in popularity of the game lately, by our standards at least.
yeah,
If things continue at this rate, hey, that's a reference to The Simpsons, Disco Stew. You ever seen that episode where it's like, disco sales doubled in the last year. If things continue at this rate, hey, it's
I
very
have not
funny.
seen that one, but yeah, I can imagine, especially if it's one of those classic episodes.
Oh yes, the old Simpsons, the golden age where they could do no wrong.
Yeah. Okay, a beer. I assume you want the left side. I preemptively gave you left side controls, or the name on the left side. Keyboard for Clemino, of course. And I'll take care of the announcement this time, since I'm not fighting for a change in this championship fight. Unless you really want to announce Bobo, in which case I'm happy to give the floor to you as well.
I think, given your experience and tenure as the main announcer here, it would only be right
Alright.
that you read out the fighters their rights.
Sure. Okay, touch tips, guys, as all men should. On the left, we have Abir, who is the current belt holder. He is an incredible bar bash player, one who I have trained up over the months that he's been here. And now he's proving to be a really promising player. As long as he keeps his head in the game, he is easily one of the most formidable and fastest players in the server, who just got his champion title. And then on the right, another player who beat me last USFC, that is Clamino, another upcoming prospect. He used the she-wolf, actually, Marina, but this time he has decided to pull out Samuel. So we'll see how that turns out. Fight clean, fight dirty, you guys can begin. And yes, we are, for those who are new, we are aware that fight clean and fight dirty are both contradictions of each other. We encourage both simultaneously.
Sword fighting in a nutshell for us. Butt moves are all well and good, but throwing some sand in your opponent's eye and shooting them, pretty good strategy as well. Honor, realistically, just gets you killed.
Nice hit by
A strong showing from the challenger here. Clamino is quite eager to take this belt, no doubt. Abir, perhaps, trying to get comfortable.
Yeah.
There we go.
Abir says it's stuttering. Unfortunately, his connection is not the best, so sometimes that happens.
Yes.
Switch host after this round. I do not know if a host is available, so I can't guarantee that we can.
And Squid Calaman is currently playing Subnautica. Not related to the tournament in any way, but that is one of SUBUTAI's friends, and SUBUTAI is a very good judge of character, so he must be a good guy.
Yeah, he's actually a buddy from high school. Obviously, I won't name him, but yeah, still buddies with him on Steam.
Well, that's wonderful. I hope he has a good time playing Subnautica.
Yeah.
But an even set so far, as Abir responds in due fashion, visiting upon his opponent all the injustices and cruelties he's visited upon him. No shortage of doubles so far. Both opponents are very evenly matched. Running in with a stab there.
Yeah, Abir actually winning the fight. He's making up for whatever stuttering he's getting with his sheer speed. As a player, he's one of the fastest. Definitely the fastest in the East, I would say. Luck is the fastest in the West.
You do hear of that.
Yeah. It's funny I say East, by the way. Of course, East relative to North America. We don't have a lot of Asian players around, so...
Well, there is actually a dedicated Asian Hellish Quart server, but we seldom hear much from them.
Yeah.
And Abir takes the first round.
We hear lots from
quite
Quest.
fast fashion.
Yeah.
And by the West and East, you mean the West and East of America?
Yeah. Of course.
I see.
Yeah. I gave Luck the title fastest player in the West, which is also fitting because he's like from the... Where is he from? He's like from Indiana or something, so... Okay, Marina.
Switching to his old reliable here, Clamino going on to Marina, which in the last title bout was used to great effect against you, was it not, SUBUTAI?
Yeah.
As Barabaj, no less.
Yeah, he did really well with the Marina, so we'll see if this switch helps. So far, it's going okay. But Abir knows this matchup fairly well.
Oh, an exhaustion there. Doesn't matter, that shield won't help you if you've got lactic acid pumping through your veins. And of course, being the chemical needed for... What is it called? What's respiration when you don't have oxygen cools?
Say again? What
What's
do you-
respiration when you don't have oxygen cooled? For lactic acid?
Oh,
Anaerobic respiration, I think it's called. Regardless,
Yeah,
she was
sounds
exhausted
right,
and
yeah.
got polished. Yeah. Anyway, but so far, Clamono is making an excellent comeback here. Perhaps this matchup favours Marina. Attempting to push there, not quite finding its mark, but a few strikes weaves over her guard. The thing is, against a shield character, you have to be careful. Albeit, he knows what he's doing, and such a volume of attacks, he's very comfortable with it. And a cut to the leg there, and exhaustion yet again, bringing his opponent low. Giving him a comeback and nearly tying up the round.
Yeah, it's the leg. But a beer recovers with a precise back X. You gotta be careful in this game sometimes. There's these really fast retreating moves that can punish an attempt to punish the opponent. Or to follow
And that's
up.
the thing, I'm almost scared of wounding my opponents and not quite killing them, because you'll never know what they'll do.
He's tired.
And exhaustion again,
Yeah. That was
giving his
unlucky.
opponent a nice haircut there. It appears Marina, surprisingly, despite her speed, is a lackluster steam tank, but regardless, the set's been all tied up and it could go either way. Beer desperately wants to win this to even up the set.
Oh!
Not quite getting
not
it
able to
there.
follow up? Nice.
Oh, but the overhead chop, very precise. And Abir wins
Yeah.
the bout there. Making it
Beer
2-all.
is up 2-0. Clamino is in a state of tears right now as he pulverizes his opponent. He's having to see into the future, he says.
I see.
Um,
Maestro, another player here, recently mentioned, does offer to host.
yeah, and I mentioned if there's options we can try, but I'm not sure if another NA player would honestly help Abir much. But if he wants,
Abir is
we can
currently
try.
winning. What's he got to complain about?
That's what I mean. He's up 2-0 anyway, but
Yeah, it's that Woody Harrelson gif where he's drying up his tears with money.
I'm not
Yeah, I
complaining.
get it. You're not complaining. I know you're not
Okay.
complaining, but come on, keep on going, pal.
He's complaining that we're
And then-
mentioning he's complaining. That's what he's complaining
Naturally,
about right
naturally.
now. Yeah.
No worries. I get the same, and a nice cut to the legs there, opening up the upstairs.
Oh,
There to strike his opponent low.
back X. Good
He's
idea.
backed
but-
up against the corner here,
Wow.
but he
Yeah.
just barely gets out of there with a sidestep.
Yeah. in
Barbash
these-
earning his title as the king of the sidestep.
Yeah, in these messy situations, Barbash usually wins out. I know I struggled the other a week, but I think I was just on an off day. I would personally say Barbash has a clear advantage if you play him correctly.
Yes. I mean, as we see here, the best way to get around shield characters is a shove, which can be unreliable, blade beating them, or simply sidestepping them, and no one is better at sidesteps
Yeah.
than Barbash.
Yeah, and he's pretty good at the high-low game as well, cutting low and then
Indeed.
hitting the head. If you have to set it up first, though. You don't want to just throw it naked, because Marina is very good at quickly hitting your head. Ooh,
And that's
the
the
push.
thing, that a low blow is always punished by a high strike,
Yeah,
as we see here. This unlock. She might not have the most damage, but damage doesn't matter when you can flow up your blow with 50 more.
yeah. Flamino just, with his foot on the gas pedal, is able to score some flags back.
Wanton aggression here, eager to make a comeback. Flamino not letting this title shot slip through their fingers so easily, as it may never come again.
Nice recovery
With a
by
beer.
Abir.
Putting them down as quickly as they make a resurgence. Very sneaky, isn't he, this Barabaj? Not that I wish to insult him in any way, but he has no shortage of unconventional attacks.
Yeah, for sure. And he can keep the pace going even against a character like Marina, which a lot of characters I think can't do. They have to play more of a
Indeed.
counter game, but Barabash can just brawl with her happily with that speed of his.
Indeed. Make it messy, as you like to say.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Barabash ducked one of those cuts because of his wounded animation, which was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, an
ducked
attempt at
to
a grab
the
there.
side. Nice low cut. Can't follow it up
Yet
just
another
yet,
low cut.
but that works
That's the
good.
thing. When you cut an opponent's legs, one of the smartest things to do is actually back off and let them come to you. As the lack of speed
Nice.
means they'll often go for great swings like that and leave themselves open.
And a
But
beer
if you
is-
enter... No, you go
Nice.
ahead. And the retreating cut wins him the bout. A beer
Yeah.
defends his title.
Yeah, that was great. Well, all I was going to say is Abir is showing great mastery of Bara here, using 2 unconventional attacks. That's the back X. We don't see a lot of that. We usually see the snap cut, the back Y. And he also was showing us A cuts, which you don't usually see in this game a whole lot, aside from certain characters like Calc or Isabella. Barbash tends to prefer to cut from his right, but here, against the shield, you often want to cut from the other side. So, well done to Abir. I'm not doubting, of course, that he was dealing with lag, but his ability to predict in advance and push the pace regardless was really impressive.
Indeed. A beautiful fight if ever there was one. A good day at the office for a beer. He'll no doubt be happy with this performance.
Yeah. Oh, Clamino's late. Well, we did what we could for you, buddy. Hopefully I saw your message in time, Clamino, but hurry off to whatever it is you need to do. That's more important. Beer made it as fast as possible, I think, so, I mean, there's that. Platypies here. Yeah, that was an amazing bar. I can say that even as a bar bash main. That was masterful on a beer's part. Some small errors on the follow-ups against Marina, but that's easy to do. Like, you often have those follow-ups that he was doing in muscle memory, because other characters, you'll kill them, but then you forget the shield's there, so that's, I think, the main mistake he was making occasionally, but he recovered from that nicely. Maestro left, Platypi right, if you guys didn't see. Yeah, Maestro asking about Steam, we can try it, but I can guarantee you it's gonna be worse like usual, so I would prefer to stick with Parsec, if we can. I'm not unwilling to try it if something goes wrong, but it's just like 9 times out of 10, Steam is the inferior option, so.
We have quite an even matchup here, as these are both characters that are explosive in both their damage and movement, despite being slow most of the time.
Nice.
Excellent use of these Verhau there. Very well done. Maestro, of course, being a well-regarded member of the Zera army, is currently tearing ahead in this.
Yeah, good usage of the stabs. You might have learned something from your gameplay.
Oh, indeed. If anyone can stab, it's Zera. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a combo like that where he can end up on the same left foot forward as he was before. It's teaching me a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean,
Strong use of the neutral game as well.
A lot of the Zera players shit on Maestro for fun with trash talk, but let's be real here. Maestro is really experienced, and he is one of the Zera masters, so he knows what he's
Indeed.
doing.
And low stab there. I've never even seen that attack before.
Oh,
Ooh, you don't want to go into such an attack against him. Perhaps underestimating his opponent here. Both players risking
or maybe he
exhaustion.
wanted to cancel it but got caught out. That can also be nice.
But Platypie is showing no shortage of fight IQ here by targeting Zera's weak spots. Trying to use the full guards there, but then following it up with a real stab.
Yeah.
Warning past the auto guard. I'll be honest, due to the setup of my laptop, I can't go into the holy stance. But I'm not missing out on anything, I'll say that much. As a Zero player.
By Maestro, I think he's stabbing a bit too much. He sort of threw them
He's,
naked, so PlatyPie countered.
The thing is about his with the auto guard of his opponent is that it's very strong up close, whereas Zera's is quite weak up close. So you don't really want to brawl with Zera. His slow speed and vulnerabilities make it so he's more of a sniper than anything. He's surprisingly skillful with his attacks. He has to be.
Maybe a barbarian's a better way to put it, because he throws a lot of attacks, but he does it with a big, like, hard-hitting weapon.
Indeed. Though, of course, I would disagree with the savagery that such a title implies. But that is my personal bias towards the character.
Fair enough. Ooh, they both went for a big cut out of measure, trying to catch each other out, I suppose.
Single tempo there, but neither quite finding the mark, but
Nice.
PlatyPie gets it, evening up the round.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, he's made an incredible comeback here.
Very cinematic so far between these two.
Indeed. I don't think it's quite a Hall of Famer fight, but it's certainly a boisterous bout.
And I will say the potential is there for it to be Hall of Fame, but we need to see it ramp up
An out
a
of
bit
measure
more,
attack.
maybe.
Yes. An out of measure attack there, and the thing is with left foot forward. From our perspective, looking at the right hand side, his guard looks the same as it was, but if you looked at the left of his character model, you'd see Zero is wide open. PlatyPie taking great advantage of this as he wins the first round, despite an early loss.
Yeah, so we're switching sides. Meister, let me know how that was. It seemed like you were both really active, so that's good.
Use of the neutral game here. Constant trading of blows, but it's not quite enough. And that's the thing. Tav has the advantage of speed where Zero does not in many instances, and they both have quite high health, so if you trade, you're in for a bad time.
You call him Tav, like Tav from Baldur's Gate.
Well, I call him Tavadaski, but apparently that's the Polish word for shit, so I get in trouble if I say that. I don't think this tag would fit in the rather inclusive realm of Baldur's Gate, though. Or perhaps he would as a Dark Urge. My word.
Yeah,
Maestro making excellent use of the push function here that he's used to win the past two bouts. Very committal use there, but he gets him.
I thought PlatyPie was going to capitalize on that, but he needed to pick something with longer range, like the high guard cut. Maestro doing great here.
Nasty double there.
Big slashes by Maestro. Oh,
Nice.
nice.
The samurai there.
Yeah.
An excellent use of a neutral there.
Yeah.
And we've seen stranger comebacks before, but it seems almost certain that Maestro's taking this set. The only question is by how much. Not so, round, rather.
Nice.
Well, a nice stab from downtown. I have to say I approve.
Yeah, Plebeian, by the way, speaking of Zera players, was supposed to compete, but he started feeling off. I don't know if there was insomnia or something else, but that was a shame.
Probably a bit too much alcohol. Getting too into the character.
Could be. In all seriousness, though,
But
he does
Maestro,
deal with
despite,
insomnia a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's a contributing
I
factor.
see. And we see here a repeat of a matchup I had earlier today of Zera versus Isabella, but Maestro opens strong with a massive slash to the head, decapitating his foe.
Yeah. Platypi looking for the sidestep, which is smart, but Maestro out-positions him a little bit. Nice.
But a simple chop to the head's all he needs. He's making excellent use of just his standing attacks without any direction, and they're often massively underutilized from Zero,
Yeah.
from at least my perspective, so he's putting in good use, showing off his neutral game.
Yeah. Contest the center better, but with really powerful offbeat cuts. So if Platypi leaves the center to sidestep, he can be hit. Nice.
And the blade beat there, guaranteeing a chop to the shoulders.
Yeah, it
Very well
freezes you
positioned.
in place a little bit, so you're in a lot of trouble if that lands. Ooh, Maestro not hitting the head. That was a little bit of a shame.
Almost sawing his guts in half.
Nice. Nice again.
Another use
Maestro
of that
steps up.
sidestep there.
Yeah.
Is shish kebabbing his opponent. Use of the holy stance there, psyching out his opponent, but not quite delivering on his strikes.
Again,
Another attempt at
Platypi.
the samurai.
Yeah. Yeah, so Platypi,
Finds its
I'm
mark.
sure he's aware of it, but the reason he can't move there is because of the block gun.
Blade beat.
So, yeah, blade beat. Yeah.
The only way to beat such an attack is to move backwards, because even if you get blade beat, if you're too far away,
Whoa.
you can't quite capitalize.
Yeah.
And we saw there
Platypi
both.
used the poste de donna there.
The baseball bat, this is often called.
Nice.
Strong low cut there.
You can't
I think
interrupt the
Platypi's showing
sidestep
off.
Too. Yeah.
Not Platypi. I think Maestro's showing off here. Going for some attacks for the people at home.
Yeah.
And he picks apart his opponent's Isabella with great strides.
Showing us what a pressure Zera can do, really, which is really impressive.
And with a nice sidestep there, I think that's all. He wins the set 3-0.
I think there's one more.
Very well
isn't
done. Oh wait, no, there's one more. He lost the
There?
first. He
Platypi
lost the
won.
first.
Yeah, yeah. One of
Yeah, yeah. I'm delusional and can't count to 3. Ignore me. Just call me Valve.
Speaking of Valve, I don't know if you've ever dealt with Steam support lately, but it's pretty horrific. They use bots a lot, as is becoming more and more common, of course. So
I've
sometimes
refunded more than a
simple-
few games, but I've not quite gotten my money back, as they do so with a great delay. But they take your
Yeah.
money with no delay at all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's happened with me as well, because I tried to get plebeian a game, and between Canada and the US, the price difference is such that they don't allow the transaction to be made. And so I was like, okay,
Really?
I'll just pay him through like PayPal or something. But then I have this bot tell me that they cannot refund my money from Steam. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And so I go back and forth a little bit, demanding a human. And eventually a human looks at it and is like, oh yeah, I'll just refund you. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Well, I'm happy you were able to get that done, but
But the bot was insistent that it was not possible.
I think you got to be a
Sounds like
squeaky wheel sometimes.
Yeah,
You got to be a squeaky wheel, get some attention.
yeah.
In this dog-eat-dog world, you'll be taking advantage.
Yeah, not Platypi. Plebeian told me a trick you can use is just say person, person, person to a bot, and it might eventually clue in that you want a person right away. So it might
Oh,
give you
really?
a real human, yeah.
So that is cunning. Taking advantage of their simple programming.
Yeah.
Had to run in with a low cut there. An adventurous attack, but it finds its mark. The players being defensive here. Strong use of the neutral game.
That
And the
was,
left
they're
foot
just
forward
going
stance
in.
gets it done.
Yeah,
Wow, yes.
they both were just
Using
throwing
it.
big cuts.
Yeah, as we see there, yeah. Even though it was slightly off centre, that big cut does get it done. It's
Yeah.
one of my favourite moves on Zero.
Yeah, I've seen some
Forward.
new players ask, like, what's the value of these big attacks if they're so slow? That's one of the values of them, is that they cover so much more space. So you can take
Yeah, and
hits
the
from the
damage.
opponent, or catch them on a sidestep, or do more damage, like you said.
See that there, the old retreating cut, the old reliable, as Zero mains
Yeah.
like to call it.
And bigger attacks let you hit weaker targets as well. Oh my goodness, nasty hit to the
And
head.
that was a deep target there. It practically decapitated him.
Nice kick.
Oh, what a kick!
Oh my goodness. Meister
Way of
just
the
going
drunken monk.
bananas.
I can't tell if he's a French or a Chun Li.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing with the faster moves. Yes, you theoretically might be safer, but if you don't throw these big cuts, sometimes you miss opportunities. And Meister showing that with Zera. Nicely done. Alright, that is the USFC. Very cinematic fight, guys. Great job. And anything else you want to say, Bobo, before I end the stream?
Well, very well done to all opponents, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen at home, for tuning in.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was a smoother one this time, less technical issues. Maestro said it was just the delay he was getting was the first round, and the rest of it was fine. So that kind of showed, I think. He kind of put his foot on the gas pedal after losing. It was like he was a little bit tilted, but he translated that
He made a
tilt.
comeback.
Yeah, he translated that tilt into just doing better, which is well done to him.
Very well done to all combatants. As always, win or lose, we always like to see you fight. And so long, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and good night.
See ya, and GG's.